Everybody, welcome back to Freedom Algo. Hope you're all having a great Wednesday. Let's get that going. Hey, good to see you, Scalper, NQ Scalper. Good to see you here. Hope you're doing well. All right, let's see here. Give it a second for everybody to hop on. Interesting spot here. Kind of failed to break out of this area. It looks like we're trying to break back in. We'll see. I actually don't have any. I actually didn't take any trades today. I actually did not take any trades today. I spotted a few, but they were sort of, the early ones were risky. So I'll go over that in just a second here. So basically the way it looked was kind of like a big range. If I zoom out, you'll see. Failed breakout is a, FB is a failed breakout. And also the labels are in my description. So if you ever want to know like what they mean, just go to the description and it's all written out there. I marked a few setups, but the best setup came down here, and I happened to be away from the computer for a second when it happened. So I actually didn't take any setups yet. So this is what I saw this morning. We had a big range. We eventually were grinding up in this up channel. We have a failed breakout right here of the top of the range. Then we get a lower high after the failed breakout. The only reason I marked it yellow is because this up channel still needed a new high. So it's a little risky there. I don't really love it, but it's there. It's definitely not a sure thing. And then it comes down, you get this move up, and you actually get a first entry, second entry short. That's also a failed breakout again. This one you would have had to enter on the engulfing bar, because after that, the signal bar is just not really that good. But if you entered this one tick below the green bar as an engulfing bar trade, then it was a pretty reasonable one. Again, I think it's risky, though. It's definitely not a sure thing. I wanted a lower high, but we didn't get one. So no setup there for me. Then we spiked down and turned into this channel. And we had this level from back here. We triple test in this zone, but you're still in the down channel. And finally, you test it a bunch more times, and you get one here. But then again, the signal bar just wasn't good enough to take a trade. And then you keep testing this area. Finally, you get this one, which gives you a triple test of these lows here. And it's also a second entry long. It's basically a failed breakout of the little level. So this was the best setup of the day right here. And you could have rode this one up and got a little runner there. But again, I was away from the computer when it happened. So that's just how it goes sometimes. Good to see you, Jackie, Nigel, Peter, Daryl, NQ Scalper. Good to see everybody. And then we came down to get another triple test here. It's also a second entry long, but this down channel was still in play. And when it kept breaking and making lower lows down here, I was getting concerned. So I just didn't see it as reliable. There's a higher low here, but at that point it's in the middle of the range. Not great. Second entry short here, but no signal bar, no lower high. So again, you just have to let it go. And that's just how it is sometimes. I didn't draw this yet, but There might actually be a separate channel that's forming here from the high. It doesn't look super reliable, but we might be trying to break down to the lows here. Basically, there's a first entry, second entry long here, but I don't think you want to take that because of where it is. Failed breakout. I don't think you want to take it. There is a second entry short here. This one I'd say is a little bit more reasonable, but it's still risky because it's closing right on this previous level. So I just think that it's risky in general for pretty much all the setups in there. They're there, but I don't know. I think you need to be careful here. You could maybe argue that this is a little tighter like that, and that this is a close outside. If you saw it like this, then you could argue for the second entry short. But again, I don't think this is a great idea. I'll mark it because some people probably did take this. It's a second entry short, and it's basically a failed second entry long here because it's a first entry, second entry long that fails. It's a second entry short. Maybe you take that. I don't think it's great, to be honest. You don't really have this trend confirmed. It's only a second swing. So I'll mark it, but not ideal. I wouldn't be taking this. So no setups for me today that I took. Besides, I should have taken this one, but I was away for a second, and that's just going to happen sometimes. So we have a FOMC like rate decision later, and that's going to affect the market. So I'm sure volatility is going to come back pretty soon. So we just got to roll with it. If you're here, smash up the likes. Definitely subscribe to the channel. And let's get cruising. We have a call today in the paid community. So if anybody wants to know about that, go into the link tree. You can see here, we have the paid community here. And if you go to the calendar, we do have a call today at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So I'll probably make the live stream a little shorter today because I'm going to cover a lot of the Q&A and everything in the actual call. Jennifer, okay. Oh, you're welcome, Jennifer. I appreciate you. I appreciate the feedback. So yeah, I'm glad that helped you. So we are bouncing from down here. We keep on establishing these like little supports, but they're not really holding. You can see we're really struggling to get out here. And if you just zoom out, you'll see it's mostly a bearish move here. We just haven't quite got to the lows. You can kind of see that if you zoom out. Like in the overnight, it was pretty choppy. Then we had this up move, and then pretty much since then, it's been mostly down. We have a couple of little rallies here, but they didn't go very far before they reversed. This, I don't think this is really gonna... Yeah, there's no real trend there. This is a dicey one, to be honest with you. Like, honestly, I don't even know if I should have this one marked. It's like... I got it marked, but I wouldn't be taking this trade, I think is the best way for me to put this. Like, it's marked because it's questionable on whether this is a close outside or not. You see, because you can draw this like this, and it fits kind of on the close. It's on the cusper. So, it's one of those questionable ones. But, yeah, I mean, I'm not taking that. So at this point, the best setups are going to be maybe triple test off the high side up here, maybe to go short. Or if we get a long, it would be probably off of down here. I think in this zone, we're a little risky. We might, this is technically a triple test right here, this candle. You can kind of see first entry, second entry, short that fails. It's a triple test. But I don't know. I think it's dicey. I just think it's dicey to keep on taking longs off these lows that keep getting lower. So it's just a little bit less than ideal. And that's the way it is today. You know, you're going to get days like this from time to time, and that's just how it is today. So if you got any questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat. Trevor, good to see you. Good to see everybody this morning. Make sure I didn't miss anything. I don't think I missed any questions, did I? No, I think we're good. As promised, we're listening to one of my new tracks. Here, let me change the quality so you can see it. I uploaded this last night, so you can kind of see. This was recorded when I was on vacation for a few days this summer. It was in Bend, Oregon. If anyone's ever been to Bend, Oregon, that's where I recorded this. You can kind of see by the rocks in the background, kind of that desert vibe. Pretty good one. Pretty good one. So this is a new track. I hadn't recorded anything on my F-sharp low pygmy in a while, so I figured I would give you guys one. All right, let's see. How's it been going? Good, man. Good, Matt. Good to see you. Good to see you. Nigel, if there's a second entry that occurred, but the bar only closes midpoint. For me, I only will take a second entry if the bar closes in its upper 1/3 if I'm going long, or lower 1/3 if I'm going short. If the wick creates a second entry, you can take the trade depending on the setup, but it's, you know, it's hard for me to answer that because it all depends on the specific setup itself and the context. And one thing you have to realize is that, and I talk about this a lot in the course, we're not just trading because we're not just taking a trade because there's a second entry. The second entry, we only take it if the second entry occurs in a key area that we want to take a trade from. So we're just using it as our confirmation of the momentum going in the direction that we want, where we already know. So like, for example, if we have a range like this, I know that I want to take shorts off of this area up here, but I'm only going to take them if I get a setup. That's kind of what I mean. So you have to understand the context of the chart and where you're looking for trades. Same thing down here. Like if we get a second entry down here, maybe a higher low, something like that, that's where I'd be looking for one. But I'm not really looking for one in some of these random areas, so you got to be careful there. And again, we got the Zoom call today, so we'll probably make the stream a little shorter. There's not a lot to talk about. I mean, there's only 4 setups this morning. There's not a lot of bars. This is one of those days where if you measure the amount of bars, there's only 160, which is not a lot of bars. So it's just a low volume day. Let's see, where were we at? 849 is probably, let's see, I'm going to look at yesterday and see how many bars we had. Because I think yesterday was pretty similar by this time. Somewhere in here. Where is it? Yeah, 184. We actually had more bars yesterday than we did today. Within the same time, within the same point of the day. Let's take a look at Friday. Or, sorry, Monday. Less. So Monday was really low. Yesterday we had more volume. Today we had less volume of actual trading, from what I can tell here. Yeah, I mean, I think you got it, Jennifer. That's most of the ones that you're looking for. Sometimes off of a range area, but typically you want some sort of like triple test or failed breakout or something like that too. Let me see. Yeah, Daryl, typically with the FOMC, I usually give it a pretty decent amount of time. Here, let me look. So if you look at the, here, I'll pull up. You look at like financial juice. Today it's at 11. So 11 Pacific time. So typically about 30 minutes before. You don't want to be in a trade. You don't want to be trading. Because the problem is sometimes right before the announcement, the price action can get really tight and congested. And if you get stuck in a trade, you don't want to be in a trade that hasn't filled before the announcement because you can get really bad slippage. So if you're already in a trade and you have a runner, then it's fine to still be in the trade. As long as you've secured your stop loss at an area that will protect your profit. Typically, I think like within 30 minutes of the news, though, it's for like a big one, like a FOMC meeting or a rate decision. 30 minutes is a good one. Some people will stop trading an entire hour before. I think 30 minutes is more reasonable there. You just got to be really, really careful. And then typically after the announcement happens, it's usually really wild for about an hour. So you might want to wait a full hour for that to settle down. That's typically how it goes. Obviously, you can gauge it based on what you're seeing, but sometimes they have like a press conference. Like at least for the FOMC meeting ones and stuff, a lot of times there's like a press conference. Forgot to just look and see. Here, let me look. Let's see if they have a press conference. Yeah, there's a conference at 11:30. So 30 minutes after the decision, they're going to have a press conference. So that's still going to be absolute chaos with volatility. So you're best off just waiting. You're best off just waiting, in my opinion. But then they said that Trump is speaking on Fox News at noon. So I don't know what that's about. I don't know that he'll say anything that will spook the market, but it can happen. It definitely can happen. So you got to be careful. Tomorrow morning, we have some news an hour before the open, but that's pretty much all we got tomorrow. And then it doesn't look like there's anything for Friday. So it should be pretty chill after this afternoon. That's what it's looking like to me. Yeah, Jennifer, there's a few other things, but I can't cover all of it right here. Like I go over everything. That's all in the course and stuff. Patrick. Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to be range bound until the FOMC. I think you're probably right. Sometimes we'll see a sharp move right before in anticipation. Yeah, you're welcome, Nigel. Mr. P. Hopefully your music went well yesterday. So if you're here, please smash up that like button. Definitely subscribe to the channel. We will, tomorrow and Friday, we'll still be doing live streams, but they will be 30 minutes later. Just because of the way that my schedule works out. So just letting everybody know that, just a reminder. So tomorrow's stream will start 5 minutes later than what time it is right now. Same with Friday. So let's just see. If we got more questions, I'm happy to answer them. I'm not going to set any stream goals today just because I'm going to stream for a little less and just get ready for the call that I have with the paid community at 10 a.m. Pacific. So I got that call tomorrow or today, and then tomorrow I have a call with the paid community that I'm excited about, which is the Freedom Collective call. That'll be after the live stream tomorrow, and that's for people who've been in the community for at least 90 days. Nice, Mr. P. That's cool. Yeah, it's really nice here, too. Really nice weather right now. I love this time of year. Get that last of the kind of summer weather, but it's not overly hot. I like it. Yeah, it's another test, but again, it's just weird right here. It's like very congested. It's very sideways. I don't love anything in here right now. So we just got to be patient. Patient, patient, patient. That's the name of the game this week. I use NinjaTrader. Yep, I use NinjaTrader as my trading platform. That's what you're looking at on the screen. This is NinjaTrader. The ES is what I'm trading. 2000 tick chart. Oh, that's cool, Mr. P. That sounds awesome. Jennifer, any advice on how to avoid tilting? Yeah, I mean, okay. Well, first of all, the first thing is never increase your size after losing, like, in my opinion. Like, your size should be consistent for a while, and then you should only be increasing your size after a lot of time that you've been having success with the current size you're trading. So, like, let's say you're trading 5 contracts, and you've had success for a couple of months doing that consistently. Well, maybe you try 6 contracts. Something like that. Like, you shouldn't be, like, trading with 5, taking a loss, and then now trying to win it back with 8. Like, that's just not a good idea. So, I mean, I can't tell you how to not do it. I could just tell you don't do it. You know, that's one of those hard ones because it's like, I can't really tell you how to have self-control. You just have to practice and work on things that enable your self-control, like working out, eating a certain way, just being consistent. Jarvis, good to see you. Here, also check out this book called The Mental Game of Trading by Jared Tendler. So it's The Mental Game of Trading, a system for solving problems with greed, fear, anger, confidence, and discipline by Jared Tendler. Highly recommend this book for trading. There's a section in here. There's an entire chapter, chapter 6. The entire chapter's on tilt. I cover that book in my course, and I recommend it to everybody because I think it's a really good book to learn how to deal with things and understand and map out your tendencies so that you know what to work on, because it's very personal and individual for everyone. Kamal, good to see you. Oh, that's a good idea. You made a pop-up that blocks your screen for 5 minutes to take a breath. Yeah, I mean, that's one way. You know, it's different for everybody. It's different for everybody. I'm at the point where if I take a loss, I still don't break my rules after, right? Like, I still follow the rules, and I just know that it's going to take me a while to make the money back. That's just how I do it. I still approach every trade. You just need to learn how to still approach every trade as an individual opportunity that's unique. You can't take a loss and then trade based on what happened with that loss. You need to just still approach each trade as a new trade, following the same methodology and rules that you've been following. You have to stay consistent. Yeah, I cover a lot more of that in the course. I actually did recently did a master class on that topic that I think, did I add it to the course? I think I might have even... I know I did a mindset master class that I did add to the course. I don't think I added the last one in there, but I talk about some of this stuff sometimes. Could have sworn recently we did one where we talked about psychology a lot, but I don't think I added it to the course. I think I left it in the weekly Q&A calls, but it's in there. Because I don't want to like keep making the course like insanely long. So I'm trying to be careful about that. Yeah, I've traded NQ before and crude oil. I don't like them as much as the ES. I like the ES a lot better. The ES has more volume of transactions, and so I just think it's more consistent. It also has a little bit lower volatility than NQ and crude oil, which makes it more consistent for position sizing. So I just like the ES a lot more. Daryl, yeah, I agree. Try to see each loss as a learning moment and just really study it. I mean, that's the main thing. Like, you just got to really study every loss and understand what you did wrong. Yeah, Trevor, for sure. Yeah, I have not read, I don't know, Pamela T. Webb. I don't know what book that is. Obviously I've read Mark Douglas. I've read Trading in the Zone. I've also read Best Loser Wins. And they were definitely helpful. Oh, the last masterclass was on tilt and revenge trading. Did I forget to add it to the course? I think I maybe just didn't add it to the course on purpose. I could have sworn. Let me look. I'll check on my other screen. I don't think I added it to the course. Yeah, I did cover trading psychology there. I don't think I added that one. I wonder if I should, because that was a pretty good one. Yeah, I don't think I... Maybe what I'll do is I'll just put a link to it. Let me find... Maybe I'll just put a link to it in the course. Because there's a section on tilt. Yeah, I should probably do that. I should probably just put a link to it or something. Yeah, I'll just do that. I'm just going to do it right now while I'm thinking about it. So... I'm going to add it. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a link to it. And trading. I'm just going to... I'll put a link to it in the actual course on the tilt section. And then that way, if anybody wants to check it out when they're going through the course, they can go to it. And then what I'll do is I'll add the transcript to it because it should be in there. So I'll do that so that it's still searchable. Why not? Let's get it set up. All right, where is that for? September 10th. Let's do it right now while I'm thinking about it. And then that way everybody will have access to that section. Because I forgot to put the transcript in there. So I'll just do that real quick. All right, cool. I added the transcript there too, so it's searchable. I mean, that's one of the things also that I do here with all this is I make it so that everything is searchable. And that's one of the cool things with all this is that the course is actually fully searchable. So what I mean when I say that is that if you're in here and you use the search bar around the community, it'll actually bring up sections from the courses because there's transcripts in here. So it searches all the videos for what was said. So you can revisit all these different topics in here. And I add that for some of these weekly calls, I add some stuff in there when it's relevant. All right, so let me see. All right. Oh, okay, Trevor. That makes sense. That makes sense. All right, let's see. If anybody have any questions, because this is like pretty much par for the course on a day like this with a lot of news. You're going to get these moments where it's just really sideways and congested without much setups. We saw a lot of that today. We saw it in here. We're seeing it here. Down here, we were just grinding down with no real good entries. There is a second entry short here, but I just think it's like so sideways. I just think it's just not right. It's not a good setup. So I just think you got to skip a lot of stuff on days like this. So I think I'm just going to wrap up, everybody, unless you got more questions. I'll give it a second, see if there's more questions. I'll give it like another minute. But then I think we just wrap up early, and I'll get ready for the Zoom call with the paid community coming up in about 50-ish minutes. And that should be all good. Looking forward to that call. And as always, if anybody has any questions that they want covered on that call, go ahead and put them in the community tab on School as a question, and I'll answer it on the call even if you aren't on there. So as always, go for that. When do I take reversals? Spots like this, where you have a failed breakout and confirm lower high, or like a failed breakout like this of an area, I'll take reversals in zones like that. Because this one, the trend line, the uptrend had played out, so I'll take one there. Down here, we get a triple test, a failed breakout, a confirmed possible reversal in the other direction, so I'll take them in spots like that. Basically, at extremes, after there's confirmations, and after trend lines have played out. That's the way I look at it. I skip them if the trend line hasn't played out. That's why I actually would skip this one, because the trend line hadn't fully played out. That's why these are marked yellow. There's no actual confirmation there, so they're risky. If there's a confirmation, I would have marked those red arrow shorts, but they're just yellow. All right. Any other questions? Appreciate everybody for stopping by today, hanging out. Reminder that the stream for tomorrow and the next day will be 30 minutes later than normal. That's just going to be the schedule for most of the school year. I just got a comment from somebody. Oh, that was weird. I had a notification that I had a comment on YouTube from somebody, and then it's gone. So maybe they deleted it. I was just making sure I didn't miss something, because I don't see a comment in the chat, but it showed something for a second. No, I don't trade FOM. No, I don't trade the news. I stay out of trades during the news. Because it makes the price action super spiky and volatile. It's just not, to me, it's not a good idea to trade the news. So I actually avoid, I use the news as a filter for not trading during that time. If there's a news release, like a planned economic release, I just stay out of it. So, yeah. So weird. I swear there was a community, but I don't know. Well, whatever. Guess it's gone. Well, I thought there was a comment in the community, but it was gone. Alright, we're getting another test of this level, but again, like, it's just so, like... so sideways in here. It's still making lower lows. It's not really like... Now you have a short-term downtrend in play. You don't want to just go long there. What kind of day we're having here. Okay. And then, let's see. Oh. You heard they're expecting a 25% rate cut. If that happens... Listen, Kamau, I would say don't... If I were you, I would not have an expectation of if it's going to go up or down based on what they say. Because what usually happens is that the expectations usually play out over a longer time frame, but the immediate effects are usually not what you expect. So, for example, if they cut rates, that's considered bullish for the market overall, for the economy. Bullish for the economy and the market. If they increase rates, it's bearish for the economy and the market, typically. And if they cut rates, it's not necessarily bullish for gold, right? It might be neutral to bearish, whatever. Because a lot of people are buying into gold during times when we have high rates, when we have inflation, all that. If they're cutting rates, it's a signifying inflation going down and more loose economic policy for people to be able to have more spending money and investment power and stuff, because the rates of loans, all that stuff goes down. So overall, it's considered bullish for most of the market if their interest rate goes down. However, what I've seen a million times is the price action will just, you know, I'll just draw it with trend lines. You'll have these ridiculous, like the price will do something like this. And for no reason during the FOMC announcement, no matter what the news is, you'll have weird stuff happening. And then maybe the next day it turns into a bullish trend. Like you really, there's no real rhyme or reason to what is going on when it first takes place. There's all kinds of algorithms that place orders that try to trap people. You know, maybe it's a bullish announcement, and it starts to grind higher, and then all of a sudden it just cuts all the way down and makes a new low, and then it rallies from there the next day. You really don't know what it's going to do, and it's not worth the risk. Shelly, I don't think so, because now we have an equal low here, and this downtrend, you can kind of see there's like a downtrend in play. I don't think you want to go long while you're in a short-term downtrend. So I don't like it. Also, what I said earlier in the Discord, we keep on getting these little sweeps to lower lows. So I'm thinking at this point, we're probably going to come down and test these overnight areas. And you can kind of see it trying to do that right now. So I wouldn't be taking anything long. Your candles look different. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I reloaded my data right before the stream, so I don't know why it would be different, but all right, I think we'll wrap up here, and I'll be back for the stream in a little bit with the paid community. Again, if you want any info, just go in the link tree, go to here, and you can learn all about that. So let's wrap up here. Thanks everybody for stopping by today. I appreciate you, and I'll be back tomorrow. And then to those of you in the paid community, I'll see you in a little bit, in about 45 minutes for the Zoom call. All right, thanks everybody. Have a good rest of the day.